Okay, you go. Great.
Thank you all, and glad to see you all here. I'm not going to sing for you. I will spare you that. Yeah, my sister Justine knows about my singing skills.
Yeah,
it's a Whalen family. Yeah, my good friend Alf too. So what I'd like to do is just share with you guys some of the experiences we had with this house. First of all, this house was a shared vision between Randall and I, in the sense that Randall made all the decisions and I followed orders. And it really was a marvelous adventure we had, and like most adventures, we had moments of pure joy and moments of complete frustration. And one of the moments of joy that I wanted to share with you involves the wisdom of geese, of all things. You might not think geese are very smart animals, but they actually taught us something during this building process. You have to imagine a day very different than today in January, where you can see the frost on your breath. And Randall and I were up there on that second floor deck, working late in the day. The sun's going down, nothing but the sky above us. And we hear in the distance the honking of geese, and they get closer and closer, and pretty soon they fly right over us, a couple of dozen of them. And pretty soon we began to realize that when the geese fly by, they're heading towards their winter, their nesting area for the night. And pretty soon we realized that that's the time to call it a day. Because we found out if we didn't do that, it would get dark and we'd be stumbling around looking for our tools. And so the geese taught us when it was time to call it a day. And it also made me realize what a wonderful place this is. It just gave me a really good feeling that this is going to be a good place to live. So I want to talk a little bit about the house. And I don't want to bore you with a lot of details. We got some samples of how we built it in the garage if you want to look, if you're interested. But the most important part of this house, the feature that's most important is that it's really insulated. It's about 2 to 4 times more insulated than a regular house. And the other feature we put into it was passive solar. And for those of you who don't know a lot about passive solar, the 2 things you need is to gather the energy from the sun and to store it. And you'll see inside we have some concrete floors that are positioned right below these big windows, and they store the heat from the sun. And it also helps that we have a lot of insulation, because that way we don't need much heat. And we did find out it really works. In the winter we were here working, and when the sun's shining, the house actually heats itself. And in the summer, it works the other way. It stays very cool in the summer because of the insulation. We don't need any air conditioning. So to talk about some of the major frustrations, I think Randall sang about them in her song. It's really architects, building inspectors, and bankers. They don't really understand a lot about these new building technologies, and it didn't quite fit into their checklist and their boxes. They didn't understand once you put the walls up that they're already insulated. You don't need to add insulation, and the same thing with the roofs. So we spent a lot of time with them, bringing them along on this project. And it took us longer than we expected, but we're very happy with the results. And we did find a nice crew of builders, and I would like to, some of them are here today, I would like to thank them for what they've done. On one of these pages. Okay, first of all, Tim Lydon. I'm not sure, is Tim here? I guess not. Anyway, Tim got us off to a great start. He built these insulated concrete walls. They're about a foot thick. They're very warm. They feel good. He also introduced us to a network of people that are willing to do things differently, and that really helped us out on the rest of the project. In the middle of it, I'll name a few people. I haven't seen them yet here, but they've helped us along the way. Jim Shaw, who works with me, loaned us a lot of his tools. Christina and Linda and Sherry in the print room made a lot of copies for us. Scott Meadis, who's a master electrician, his crew, Joe and Troy, they stayed with us through the whole project, which wasn't true of a lot of the contractors. And Tim Dufely installed the radiant heating system, and he fine-tuned it to make it really efficient. And finally, Tom Pitsley is here. He's behind the camera. I would like to thank most of all here. He and his loyal crew, Mike and Ron, they pulled it all together for us. They put up the roof and the shingles, they installed the trim, they built the barn behind us. We call it a barn. I mean, it's really a garage, but we call it a barn because it's Rochester, after all. You know, you need a barn in Rochester, we found out. And the building inspector actually asked us, "Are you going to put animals in there?" So on the print it says garage, but we always call it our barn. Anyway, they were here through freezing wind and baking sun through all the various seasons of building the house, and they carried us through to the end. They listened to our instructions, they patiently dealt with all our changes, and provided us advice and sometimes even encouragement when we needed it the most. So thank you for that, Tom. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And now for Randall and I, this gathering is one of those moments of pure joy. And thank you all for coming and to share this moment with us. And I'd like to introduce now a dear friend of ours, Alf Carroll, who will conduct the house dedication ceremony. Thanks.
Thanks, Mark. I'm kind of a short guy, so hold on a second. Okay. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Isn't it a cool day out here? Look at the sun and everything. Isn't it awesome? We could have had the rain of 2 or 3 weekends ago. I think that just is a testament to this project and this result and my friends, Randall and Mark. And before I do the dedication thing, I just wanted to say it's kind of cool how these two went out of the box, and that's something that resonates with me. I'm an out-of-the-box person. Anyone of you who know me, you know that I'm way out of the box. And I really think this is cool. And I'm not sure what my next career is going to be. My current career, I'm actually pursuing some weird alternative energy stuff. I think this is what we all have to do. I think we have to talk to our kids about it. And not just talk about it like a subject at school or something, but just everything you do. I mean, you leave the room, turn the light off. Are you when you go to bed, turn the thermostat. I mean, all these things can, contribute to the problems that we're facing now in our future. And I think it's a house like this that sort of sets a new standard that you can kind of aspire to. Wake up, sunshine. Let me feel your warm sunlight on me. But today, well, one day, oh yeah, sunshine. You know I'm talking to you. I know you're having it too. So just like
For a toast, I would like to quote an old Irish housewarming blessing. May the roof of solace never fall in, and us friends here never fall out. Cheers. Cheers. Liquid sunshine.
Smile.
So, the games in the backyard, the refreshments, we will have lunch at around 1 o'clock. You're welcome to stay. The moon's going to come up at 5 o'clock over the horizon. You're welcome to stay until then, and weather permitting, however, as long as you want. We'll have lots of activities through the afternoon, so you're welcome to stay. Thank you.